Hey, what's up YouTube? Matt Samolsky here, Matt the Car Guy. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Today I have a special treat for me and for you, I hope. Mercedes-Benz of Hoffman Estates, my friends over there, they hooked me up. They let me review another one of their brand new cars, and this time is this refreshed, I'm not gonna say redesigned, but refreshed 2021 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. But before I'm gonna take you on the tour and we're gonna walk around and see what this car is all about, I wanna first of all thank you for watching my channel. I am very amazed of how it's growing, how many subscribers we're getting. I thought at first it was going to be only me, my wife, my sister, my mom, maybe a couple more of my friends, and it grew to almost 200 subscribers right now, so I'm stoked. I'm really excited about it. Guys, if you like this type of videos, consider subscribing. If you like to talk about the cars, if you like to listen about the cars, check out my channel. If you like anything like this, hit that little subscribe at the bottom of it. Hit that little bell notification button so you get the notification every time I release a new video. And I try to post twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays. There's new videos coming in every Wednesday and Sunday. So tune in if you like it, check it out. But today what we're going to do is, as always, I'm going to take you on the tour of this vehicle. I'm going to take you on the tour on the outside of this car. We're going to point out some of the new, fresh, redesigned features of it, as well as I'm going to take you on the tour of the inside, which there's a lot of big changes on the interior of this vehicle as well. And then we're going to take it for a spin. So if you're ready, let's go. Okay guys, we're starting in the front of this vehicle because that's where some of the most visible changes are on this 2021 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Now, speaking about the E-Class, a few fun facts. The E-Class was produced since 1953. Now, it didn't get that name, the E-Class, till 1993. And this is the 5th generation after 1993. So this is refreshed, not redesigned. The body line looks exactly like the 2017 when it undergone a complete redesign, but there's some characteristic changes. The lights are different. The grille is different on this 2021 Mercedes. The hood has got this two distinct body lines kind of on both sides and a line in the middle. It's very interesting. I'm going to try to give you a close-up of it. Now, it does have those fake vents. They could be real. I mean, that would probably make sense if they let some air in to cool down the brakes, cool down the wheels of this vehicle. But nevertheless, you know, there's some bottom part of the grille. There's some chrome, there's some black parts of it. Behind this Mercedes start is where all of the Mercedes-Benz safety sensors are hiding as well, and there's a front camera right here, and there's some sensors right above the mirror. So this is the front of this vehicle. Let's move over to the side and we'll check this out. So the side of this vehicle is where the changes are actually the least visible, because it almost looks exactly like the 2020, 19, 18, and 17. However, you know, there's a few changes. Well, maybe in this particular one, it's got this brand new design of the wheels. Take a look at this. It's the AMG twin spoke wheels, but it's a completely different design, kind of a two-tone color. It's got that gray and the polished aluminum look. Part of that AMG line trim on this car is also, it has the perforated rotors on it. It's got the brake calipers with Mercedes-Benz written on, so that's something that's new for 2021 as well. And you know, of course, you know, it has the turn signals built into the mirrors. Now this particular one has the panoramic sunroof. It does have the keyless go entry, so you don't have to use the key just to get in the vehicle. And this is the side of it. Now I'm excited because the back is where the biggest changes are. So let's take a look at this. The back of it is where the changes are the most visible on this Mercedes-Benz E-Class 2021. And first, because it's got the completely different lights. Now those lights, if you remember on the previous generation, they were kind of small. They were like this big, and a little bit of a wraparound, but nothing crazy. Now these kind of wraparound go all the way onto the trunk and gives it a complete different look. My complaint for the previous generation E-Class was that it was almost identical to a C-Class when you looked at it from the side or from the back. The only difference was the size of it, really. Now this one makes it completely different. Now Mercedes is probably going to redesign the C-Class soon, so it's going to look very similar to it. But what else we have in the back? You know, we have a lot of chrome on it. 4Matic, which is obviously the vehicle is a four-wheel drive, and we have some exhaust. Now the exhaust is actually real. This is not the fake exhaust tips. These are real exhaust tips. Chrome trim at the bottom here. There's some parking sensors obviously in here in this E350 badging. Now Mercedes comes with a few different trim models, and we're going to talk about it in just a little bit. But before we move on to the front, take a look at the engine. Let's take a look at the trunk. Trunk can be accessed in several different ways. One of the ways is opening it from the inside, opening it from the remote, or simply opening it like this. So let's check it out, see how big the trunk is. Okay, let's walk up to this trunk and see how big it is, because it's got the substantial size to it. It's not the biggest trunk, but it's deep, and you know, you can still fold down the seats if you wanted a little bit more room. So the seats are 40, 40, and 20, 40, 20, 40 split. Now this one, I already checked it out. It does not have a spare tire cover, spare tire for this vehicle, but it does have, you know, the crate that we looked at one point, and it does have a little bit more storage underneath this right here. What else do we have here? You can actually unlock the seats by using these levers right here on both sides and get those seats folded down. So that's it. That's the trunk of this vehicle. Now we're moving on to the front. So almost as always, Mercedes gives you a few options on the engine of the vehicle. Now the standard engine is a 2-liter turbocharged engine, 255 horsepower, 273 foot-pounds of torque, made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Okay, and this is where this one is. That's a 2-liter engine. There's also a 3-liter turbocharged engine that is available, 369 horsepower, 393 pound-feet of torque. Now that's on the E450. There's also a 3-liter engine with a little bit more horsepower, and that's on the E350E. That's got that electronic torque. That's got another 48 foot-pounds of torque or so to the engine, and that's like 513 pound-feet of torque on the E350E. But let's check this out. Let's see how this engine looks. It's the same engine that they use for several different vehicles. However, it's tuned differently depending on which model, ranging, you know, from, I think it's 183 horsepower to 255 horsepower. And it's a lot of car. It's a big car, and the engine really does look a lot bigger than it truly is, maybe because of the cover. Check it out. All right, we're gonna check this out and see what I mean. The engine looks bigger than it actually is. It's 2-liter turbocharged engine, but this massive cover makes it look a lot larger than it is. There's really nothing to it. It's a nice clean design, as always with Mercedes-Benz. That seems like it's got some heat shields in the back as well as the sound shields of the engine. So I mean, that makes it for a nice and quiet ride, and it truly is. I've driven this vehicle, and now you're going to take this for a drive with me. But before we do that, we're going to check out the roominess inside of this vehicle. Okay guys, so I just finished adjusting the seat to my normal driving position so I can show you of how much room there is in the back seat. And it's nice and roomy. Honestly, there's several inches, probably 2-3 inches between my knees and the back of this seat. So a 6-foot adult would fit quite comfortably. There's quite a bit of room in the as far as the headroom, although I think it's because of this dual sunroof, or that panoramic sunroof that's on this vehicle. It might be a little bit, if somebody is about an inch taller than I am, they might have a little bit of an issue with the headroom, but not bad. Shoulder room, it feels like the seats are nice, wide, and that there's definitely enough room for 3 people in the back here. So let's check this out together. Okay, so let's walk together too and check out the back seat. And as you can see, the seats are nice and wide. They're nicely contoured. It looks very elegant. This is the standard MB-Tex interior on this car. It doesn't have leather or anything like this. Very interesting trim. I'd have to find out of what the name of this trim is, but it's kind of like that old driftwood almost look on the sides. And of course the Burmeister stereo, it's got 2 speakers on it. What else is here? Now what's interesting, and I haven't seen many manufacturers do that, but for some reason a lot of the German cars still have an ashtray at the bottom. An ashtray. Don't smoke in the car. It stinks. It's horrible. It's disgusting. If you must smoke, you know, smoke outside. Too nice of a car to make it smell like an ashtray. But what else is here? HVAC controls, and then there's a power outlet in the back. Now this also has those back seat pockets, kind of nicely integrated. You don't even know they're there until you pull on them. And as far as this panoramic sunroof, check this out. I mean, it's got this dual panoramic sunroof. It's actually you know, one piece on the opens, but in the back you can open that shade and let more light into the rear passengers. So we're gonna check out the front now. Hey guys, we're gonna do the sound check. No, not the mic check, but we're gonna do the check of the closing door, the sound of the closing door. Never disappoints. It never disappoints. Mercedes-Benz, one of the most solid closing doors. Even though they used to be really heavy vehicles, now they use a lot of lightweight materials on it. They still were able to manage this nice closing door. There's no other noises when you actually shut the door. And let's check out the interior. Okay, so what do we have on the interior? Mercedes has the 3 memory settings on pretty much all of their models, and it has the seat controls right here. So each part of the seat that you want to control is represented by a button. That makes it easier, you know, if you want to get the front more for your knees, if you want to control the back, or even if you want to control the headrest. You want to push it down pull it up. If you're taller, that's how you do it. Burmeister stereo. This is a really nice trim. Now that's called natural grain gray ash wood trim, and looks really nice with this color combination with the silver on the exterior and the black on the interior. Polished aluminum door handles. This is your window controls, and here at the bottom you have the trunk opener. That's it. That's what's on the door. Now we're going to move in to the interior, where there's some huge changes on the design. A 2021 Mercedes-Benz E-Class interior. First of all, what you see is a brand new redesigned steering wheel. The steering wheel is still multifunction, but it's got the different sets of buttons on both sides. And as always with Mercedes-Benz, the left side of the steering wheel controls this screen, and the right side of the steering wheel controls the big screen on the right. So here's what's on it. First of all, it's the home button. You can see settings for the cruise control. You can set your distance between you and the car in front of you if you want to put this adaptive cruise control. And this is for your cruise control. You can cancel it, you can resume it. And this is basically that controls the top of the screen. So let's take a look at the screen really quick. Now we've done those screens before. Now you can see two big screens, one of them two big dials. One of them is your tachometer, one of them is your speedometer. So speedometer on the left, tachometer on the right. In the middle you actually have your map. That's where it's set up right now, but you can actually switch it to whatever you want. So you can switch it to phone, assistance. Let's see what the assistance does. Okay, now this is for your cruise control. You can set up your distance between you and the car in front of you. Navigation, trip, that basically gives you the data for the car and trip. Now this is a brand new car. It's got 13 miles on it, and that's mostly probably driven from and to the truck, the rail, and the dealership, because they literally just received this a few days ago. Media, designs, and display. We're not going to go through all of that because that would be a lot, and I've already covered that in some of my other videos. But this is where you can customize your dashboard. Now we were in classic, sport. You know, looks like it's changing. See the different colors on the dials, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red. Okay, you can change that as well to progressive. Okay, depending on what you like, you can set it up to an understated. Understated, very basic. Look at this. This is actually a new design, I think. I haven't seen that before on the Mercedes. But that's how you can customize your display. Now, the steering wheel, right-hand side, has got the controls for the right side of the screen. And this is where you have basically kind of the same features. I mean, you can go through navigation, you can go through radio, media, comfort settings. Now, this is what you don't see in the other one. I'm going to see if I can make a better angle of it. Here it is. So you can check out the vehicle settings. Pitch and lean. Now this is also a touchscreen. If you don't want to use the steering wheel, you can check out the engine settings right now. You can see the battery voltage, engine torque, and performance as far as the horsepower. I think this is 255 right around here. That's where you will see the top performance, and then torque on the other side. Consumption, okay, fuel consumption, average 12.1 miles per gallon, which is actually not true. It's got the combined miles per gallon of 25, 22 in the city, and 30 on the expressway. 2230 on the expressway. That's basically what you have there. Operator's manual, so you can see that in the car without actually looking through the manual altogether. Now you can control the screens 3 different ways, actually 4 different ways if you use voice. So you can control it on the buttons on the steering wheel right here. You can control it through a touchscreen. You can control it through this touchpad right here and the shortcut buttons. Some of them are right around here. And you can control it also using voice. Now, "Hey Mercedes" is the keyword. And as you can see,
"I'm sorry, but I can't help you with that right now."
Yes, so you have to set it up. It's not available at the moment, but again, if you set it up, you're gonna be able to see that. Now, what else is here? Info. This is where we were at before as far as the comfort settings. So these are your seat kinetics, seat heating balance, and you can reset it. So that's on this particular car. And ambient lighting. And I don't know how many times I tried, but I can never actually get to see the lights in action. I can see that they're lit up right here. So I'm going to try to change that into different color and maybe adjust the brightness a little bit. So we're going to do the brightness, you know, as bright as we can. And you can see those lights right at the top here that they're changing. And I'm going to go back and we're going to adjust the color. So see how it's changed to purple? Now it's red moon. So you can see those lights are changing. Now these are all over. If you can see, the ambient lighting kind of goes around the vehicle, and you can set it to whatever you want. 64 different colors in ambient lighting. Okay, that's one of the cool features. What else we have here? Info, Mercedes Me and apps, settings, quick access, assistance, camera and parking, active brake assist, attention assist, blind spot assist, vehicle settings, dynamic select. You can choose, as always with Mercedes, with several different driving modes, and you can do an individual configuration, and that's basically you can change your drive to Eco Comfort, Sport and Manual. You can change your steering to Sport or Comfort, and electronic stability, Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus. Now you can control the dynamic select through this lever right here. As you can see, I can change it to individual, which we just went through, and you can set up the different settings, Sport, Plus, Sport, and Comfort. So those are the settings that are available. Okay, what else is in your home screen? That's basically the same thing like all of the other ones. You can connect the your phone to it. Mercedes has, yeah, Mercedes, I'm not talking to you right now, but it has the ability to either use the navigation that's built in, like in this particular one, or you can use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. What else? See, I think that these are a lot nicer, even though they're still the round vents, but they're not as exposed, and it looks a little bit more elegant, a little bit more classy than on some of the other cars that I wasn't too big of a fan. This is how you turn those vents on or off. Okay, and what else? Typical for a lot of Mercedes-Benz models, you have your basically HVAC controls right here. Temperature, different vents that the air is coming out, fan speed control, you can set it to automatic, front windshield defogger, rear window defroster, and again, air conditioning on, air recirculating button, and you can sync so you have the same temperature on both sides. So now, here's some shortcuts for the screen. If you want to get to your telephone, Navi, map, radio, media, car favorites, and hazard lights. Cup holders. Now you can also see that you have, tell me it's not an ashtray, not a lighter. It is a lighter. Guys, this is a smoker's car. It's crazy. I don't know why they're coming back. Smoking should be bad. USB-C port right here, 2 cup holders. Now here's your trackpad right In the middle, it does have the dynamic select gears. You can turn off your parking sensors off. Now, when do you want to turn this off? Now, I turn it off in my garage because I know where I need to go and I know how close I'm gonna get to it. And you know, it's very sensitive, and a lot of times it just drives me crazy. So here is your parking assist. Drive forward to search for parking. Oh, this one's got the Parktronic, so let's see if we're going to be able to park it by yourself. So we're going to check, we're going to drive it, and we're going to see of where that parking space is. But before we do that, let's do one thing. I'm going to do it when I'm driving. Okay, nice deep storage compartment right here, USB-C charging port. That's an extra charging port for your phone or anything that you want to charge up. Take a look at this, guys. This is the interior of this car. It looks beautiful. It looks rich. It looks classy, but at the same time, it looks like it's a car that's definitely the 21st century. And I always compare everything else to Mercedes-Benz, like Mercedes MBUX. And the MBUX, in my opinion, has been the best digital cockpit so far out of all the vehicles that I've seen. Fully customizable, big, bright displays, 12.3 inches screens. So, great job, Mercedes. And we're going to take a look, before we take it for a spin, let's take a look at this right here. So here's your sunglasses holder, basically, lights, and you have your controls. See how that opens up? It opens up front and back portion of the sunroof, and now it's a one-touch operation. It opens up the sunroof. Huge gap. That's probably the biggest one. And again, that air screen, so you don't get the air right in your face, right in your hair, and it doesn't get any noisier when you're driving it. So here's the interior of it. Hey guys, I'm ready to take this car for a spin. Now, always the amount of technology and the Mercedes amazes me, and even though you might see it at some other people, but they always take this to like the next level, the better, the nicer, the easier. And you know, one of those things that is part of this particular Mercedes-Benz is that Parktronic, and Parktronic is basically the parking assist. So I'm going to show you that before we get on the road. But before we get all that, I never mentioned the price of this vehicle. So this particular one, it's an E350 4Matic with quite a few of additional, well, actually there's probably about 4 different options that are additional cost on this vehicle, and I'm going to list all of them in the link in the bottom of this video in the description. So this particular one is about $63,000. Now the 4Matic starts at about just over $56,000, just a little bit more than the last year's model. Now if you wanted to go all the way up to the 63 or 63S, you're going to find yourself in the range north of $100,000. But you can always check out the Mercedes-Benz website, build it to your liking. That's what I like about Mercedes, that it allows you to fully customize your vehicle. If you have any questions, you can always call Mercedes-Benz of Hoffman Estates. I'm going to put the link in the description as well, the number for Peter, so you can ask him the questions about any of the options that are on any of the vehicles. So let's start with the parking assist and see how that works. So I'm gonna back it out and let's see. I just got into a parking lot, and I'm a really bad parking person. Not really, but I mean, if I was, let's pretend I don't know how to park. So all right, all I have to do is there's a little parking button in here. It's got the camera, and I'm driving, right? So okay, I'm gonna push this on. Okay, and we're driving. I'm gonna push the parking assist. Okay, stop vehicle to park. Okay, confirm to park. So I'm confirming, select parking direction and confirm. Reverse. Okay, so on the park reverse, so that's basically, it's gonna back into the parking space. Now please engage reverse gear, get your hands off the steering wheel. Here, no hands, I'm not really touching it. Stop vehicle to park, okay? Confirm to park. I did that. And we're gonna back in here. Okay? Press parking button in the center console to start. Alright, active. Be ready to brake. Here, ma, no hands. Look at this. Okay. Still going. Look at the steering wheel. Now it's using all the sensors and the camera and kind of shows you in the middle of where it's going, and you can see it on both the 360 camera and here of how you are within the parking lot. Okay, and now it's backing in here. Adjust to the left. Okay, parking assist finished. Alright, so this is an assist, right? If it was me, I'd be already halfway down the parking lot because I'd be already parked, gone, done, delivered. But if you think that you're not a good parking person, this is a feature for you. Turning radius, that's another thing that we normally check out when we start. So let's take a look. One parking spot. Wow, this is really tight. My primitive way of assessing the turning radius. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3. Wow, 3 parking spots. That's a winner so far. It's got a lot of agility. It feels nice. It feels bigger than the C-Class. I used to own the C-Class. I can tell you firsthand experience. It actually feels very comfortable, very luxurious. Take it on the road for a little bit. Let's see the acceleration and let's see the agility and the turning, and I'll give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna give it. So right now we're in the comfort mode, and I usually try to test the vehicles in the sports mode because I want to see how, especially on the vehicles with the smaller engines like this, how quick are they to get in to, let's say, merging in traffic. Because obviously those are not going to be like performance vehicles. You're not going to use those cars for racing or anything like this. But you want to make sure before you buy it that you have enough guts in this car to get you in and merge you into a traffic on a busier street. And that's basically what I'm gonna do right now. See how we're gonna catch up with this car. Okay? And we're there. So it's definitely capable of merging in. Now you could hear the engine. Not a bad sound of the engine, but it's not that growl of a larger displacement engine, V6 or V8, but it's still very capable. I mean, for the regular driving, it's awesome. And I think, you know, Mercedes-Benz with their E-Class, I mean, they've been producing them for so many years, and I don't know if you're, you know, 50 or 70 years old, you probably remember that as a kid. You know, they've done a really nice job with redesigning them over and over and over again, and 2017 was this big redesign. It was this wow, you know, it's completely different. Now, it used to be the Mercedes had each of its line, the C-Class, the E-Class, the S-Class, which was basically the core, you know, in the 90s. Then they added the ML, and then the GL, and, you know, then the CL GLS, and then now they have a whole bunch of other vehicles, but they all used to all have their distinct look. Not anymore. Right now it's kind of gearing towards, like I mentioned before, the small, medium, large type of deal. Different pricing, but the vehicles start looking similar. Now, if you look at this car and if you look at the back of it, the front, the back lights, I mean, yes, they're different than they used to be, but they're similar to, for example, you know, what they've done to an A-Class. And I'm pretty sure that the C-Class, hear the engine? The C-Class is gonna follow as far as the redesign. But you're gonna be able to choose small, medium, large, you know, Mercedes-Benz CE or S class, and that's what it was. And the E, it's kind of the step up. So when you graduated from the C class, you'd go with the E class. Beautiful cars, nice driving cars, beautiful interiors, luxurious, classy, elegant, and that's what this is. This is really a nice, elegant vehicle. And you know, I'm partial to Mercedes brand. This is my channel, this is my opinions. You can agree, you can disagree, but I really like the way they drive, their comfort, their safety, their agility. I mean, there's nothing loose on this car. I mean, yes, it's a $63,000 vehicle. It shouldn't be anything loose, but I mean, it's very well made. Second thing, did you know that E-Class is the best-selling Mercedes-Benz of all times? Now, up to 2015, they sold over 13 million E-Classes worldwide. Now, that's been 5 years ago. I don't have the updated number, but if you know it, put it in the comment section below and let everybody know of what that number is. Also, as far as Mercedes as brand, they own over 100,000 patents, and they share those patents with other manufacturers for a symbolic $1. So, just another fun fact about Mercedes. Guys, I'll give this car a big thumbs up. I can't wait to get my hands on the 450 when it comes out, or the 63. That would be even better when they actually get it. So I'd love to compare that to this, but this for a regular daily driver, it's awesome. It looks good, it drives good, it feels good. Sound system, one last thing, let's check this out. Let's get the Burmeister steering. I like how the deep tones of that kind of, I don't know, it's an electronic or a chill music. Not a big music guy myself, but I can tell the difference between a good stereo and a bad stereo, and this is certainly a good stereo. So again, summing it all up, what I like about this car, I like the styling, I like the size, I like the interior design, the exterior design, the looks of it, the drive of it. What would I want to be a little bit different? Bigger engine, which is available, I just don't have it in this car. So that's just me. I like to have that 2 more cylinders in that at least. And if it drove anything like the C43 that I reviewed before, that would be awesome. Again, a big thumbs up for the E-Class. Thank you, Mercedes-Benz of Hoffman Estates, of letting me review another one of your cars. And guys, consider subscribing. Hit that little subscribe like button, share it with your other friends if you think that they're going to benefit from it, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.